Okay, now we're going to make the Thai beef salad. This will only take 20 minutes, and that's in the preparation, and 8 minutes in cooking overall. You'll need some olive oil from the pantry. You'll also need a salad spinner, a knife, chopping board, garlic press, juicer, and grater. Okay, let's start with the cos lettuce. So first of all, remove the tough outer leaves. Once you've done that, you put all of the leaves into the colander or the salad spinner. Make sure you pull them all apart, and you can also check here to make sure that there's no little bugs within the heart of the lettuce. Okay, the idea now is to rinse the lettuce under cold water and then put it in the salad spinner. So it says there, make sure that you put the lid on. A, it won't work if the lid's not on, and B, if you don't have the lid on, you'll have water splashed all over the kitchen. You can see there that all the water that was on the lettuce leaves have been left behind. Okay, now we are going to prepare our mint. Once again, you use the salad spinner or the colander, remove the leaves from the stalk and place them into the colander. Once again, you wash them under the cold running water and return to the colander to the base and pump until all of the water has been removed. As with the lettuce, by doing this, this helps to keep the salad fresh. The more water that you get off the leaves of the mint and the salad leaves, that will make sure that the salad will store for a couple of days. And there you have your dried mint leaves. Okay, now we are preparing the coriander. Now, some people love coriander and other people hate it. Personally, I love it. But it's important to rinse it under the cold running water and make sure you do that thoroughly, because with coriander, dirt can get caught between the stalks. Once you've washed it, shake it to remove any water, and then, as shown here, pat it dry using a tea towel. That'll make sure that it's dry enough to be used. Okay, now with the cucumber, chop off the ends, slice the cucumber into half slices that were shown here. Once again, I'm using a Lebanese cucumber here. You slice it there into some thick slices. With our cherry tomatoes, we've washed the tomatoes under cold running water, and then most punnets have holes in the bottom to allow the water to drain through. Once you've done that, cut each of the tomatoes in half. If you're not planning to eat all of the salad on the night that you're preparing it, I would leave this step to the end and only add the tomatoes to serve when I was eating salad. This helps keep the salad crisp because tomatoes, as you can see, contain a lot of water and may cause the lettuce and the herb leaves to deteriorate. Let's now prepare our red onion. So with the red onion, you cut both ends off the onion and then slice it in half. Peel away the outer skin on both halves, and then once you've done that, we're going to cut the onion into thin slices. Red onions are sweeter than brown onions, and they are perfect for salads. If you find onions too intense, then soaking them in cold water before adding them to a salad may help. Lay them out on kitchen paper beforehand though to dry before you add them to the salad. Okay, now we are mixing our salad ingredients. So we've got the cos lettuce. We add in the mint leaves, and you might want to rip the mint leaves up if they're quite large leaves, just make them sort of more bite-sized pieces. Take the coriander from the tea towel and remove the leaves from the stalks. You can freeze the stalks to add to a stock at a later date if you'd like. Okay, once all the leaves are removed, add the cucumber, gorgeous red cherry tomatoes. Here comes the red onion, see those nice thin slices. And the bean shoots, that gives it a bit more crunch. Then of course you mix it with your tongs to combine all of the ingredients. Doesn't that look fantastic? The colours are just amazing. Good enough to eat, I'd say. Now it's time to prepare the dressing. Your kit comes with a container labelled dressing. To that you will need to add lime zest, lime juice and garlic. To zest lime, use a fine grater to ensure that only the zest or the coloured part of the fruit is removed. Rotate the lime as you grate it down the grater so you don't go too deep. If you go down to the white part of the lime, this is called the pith and it is very bitter and has an unpleasant taste. Continue to grate until most of the zest has been removed from the lime. This may take a while, but it's worth the time for the tangy flavour of fresh lime. Also, limes are very expensive, so we don't want to waste any. You can purchase this grater in our shop now. Utensils for grating any citrus fruits, as well as hard cheeses and spices like nutmeg. It'll definitely come in handy. You could also use a microplane or the small holes in a cheese grater. If you don't have any of these items, you could use a potato peeler or a very sharp knife to cut away the zest and then cut it into very fine pieces. Once you have the zest, add this to the dressing container. You may need to pause the video until you have finished grating. Once you've finished grating the lime, it's now ready to juice. Roll the lime and press down to break up the membranes and get the most juice out of the fruit. You cut the lime in half and using a juicer to extract the juice from the lime. If you don't have one of these, then cut the lime into sections, squeeze each section to extract the juice. Repeat this for both halves. Add the juice to the dressing container. You may need to pause the video until this is completed. Take the clove of garlic and using a broad knife blade, press down to crush the clove. This makes it easier to remove the outer skin of the garlic. If you find the clove is hard to crush, then cut off the larger end and try again. Put the skinned clove into the garlic press and squeeze it until the garlic is crushed. It's important to scrape the press clean because once the garlic dries, it is harder to remove. Use the handle of a spoon to remove most of the skin left behind, then wash the press in warm, soapy water. The dressing bottle contains the correct measurements of sweet chili sauce and fish sauce. To this you will need to add the lime juice, the crushed garlic and the lime zest. Now put the lid on tightly and give it a very good shake to combine all the ingredients for this delicious, tangy dressing. Now we're cooking our steak. We're using a high quality rump steak for this salad. Firstly, put a frying pan on high and add 2 teaspoons of oil to the hot pan. Swirl the pan to ensure it is evenly coated in oil. Once the pan is hot, it will start to haze. That means you can see smoke rising off the pan. Make sure your meat is at room temperature. Ideally, it would have been out of the fridge for 20 minutes. This allows an even temperature and helps with cooking the meat evenly all the way through. If you want to add salt and pepper, then sprinkle it on the steak now. Cook the steak 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes on the first side or longer, depending on how well you like your meat cooked. Pause the video at this stage until the first side is cooked. Then flip it over and cook the other side to your liking. Again, the time will depend on how well done you like it. Remember, if you want the steak well done, then it will feel firm when prodded with the tongs. The less firm it is, the less cooked the steak is. Leave the steak to rest for 5 minutes before cutting it. Cover it in foil to keep it warm. This helps the juices settle and redistribute in the steak. And it will give you a more tender and juicy steak. Delicious. Now slice the steak into thin pieces. I always cut meat on a plastic cutting board rather than wood. This way I can put it in the dishwasher and ensure that it's been washed in really hot water, and that'll kill any germs and prevent cross-contamination. Wow, that meat looks great. Delicious. Okay, now we're going to top the salad with the meat dressing.